What is your explanation of God? Because when we spoke, there's a conversation tulikuwa nayo naye akaniambia yeye ametafuta knowledge ya spirituality akakuwa atheist alafu sasa akarudi sasa kwa injili. So she's an atheist and a half. So so what is your definition of God?
She's a theist and I believe kuna force, but how is he describe?
Oh, okay.
Actually, atheism was a point of transition for me. Always like put it that way. It's not like I'm half atheist and a half whatever. I grew up in a Christian home, but I did not know who God was, even though I was in this Christian home. So it reached a point where, because I've always known somebody's out there watching out for me, because I've seen proof of it in my life. But the way he was represented, you know, he was misrepresented to me, and I believe that that was a misrepresentation. So when I went to, you know, throughout my life in campus, I came to a point where I wanted to establish a personal relationship with God. And so that was my period of atheism, because I was out. I abandoned everything and decided to be like an empty vessel to start looking for my own meaning of my own God. And that is when I got into spirituality. And even if you look at my page right now, I talk a lot about the Bible, and it's like I mix everything, because I believe that there are truths inside these religious connotations. But then when you ask me what is the meaning of God to me God is nature, God is change, God is, you know, the change is the only constant in life. And to me, that is what God is. God is nature. God, whenever I look into the faces of the people around me, whenever I look into nature, that is me seeing the face of God. And so God to me is the collective, the wholeness of us as a people. So that is where God is to me, because that is where I've found my God.
So God is not a person seated on the throne?
No, to me God is, all of us are, you know, God to me is the universe. And to me human beings are a direct mirror reflection of the universe. All human beings are fragments. It's like having a gold reservoir, and then you have the fragments of gold that are in different parts of the world. So to me, human beings are just a mirror reflection of who God is.
Okay. Now from Mr. T's explanation, he says that there are different levels of, there are different realms outside this world, which kuna the dark one. How do you know you're not in witchcraft? As in
fact, the reason why I said that, I think I had an interview talking about the chakras.
Yes.
The gates. Now, those chakras is a language yenye inakuanga kwa meditation, but it's also a language iko kwa Satanism. Because you open those gates na unaanza kuinteract na spiritual realm. In fact, akikwambia kuna 7 chakras, by the time you are opening the 3rd chakra, you open the 3rd eye of the spirit. And by the time you are opening the 7, unakuanga so high spiritually, unakuanga umeadopt something, inakuanga serpentine. So it ushers you to a very demonic realm. And that's why I was very sensitive, kwa sababu what the new age is doing, the Bible actually is the only book that has detailed on spirituality. But now what has happened is that there is what we are now calling involvement of demonology, the study of demons. But now it's being repackaged not as demons, but as energies, as forces, as elements. So unajua kitu pepo inakawe. Lakini ukianza kusema ni elements, ni energy, positive vibe, inakaa okay. So uchawi ya saizi imeomoka. Ni uchawi cool, unaget? Ni uchawi unaambiwa weka 2 candles hapa, sema ta mara 7. Unakumbuka chali? Chali si ati ni Nigeria alikuwa anakuja amefunga kikitu. It was a demonic pattern on how to summon a demon. But they never told us it was a demon. They just said you're summoning chakra. Chakra hizo ni ziko kwa backbone. Hata uko nazo. Unaweza train your kuzi.
Niko na demons.
Hizo chakras. And this one I'm telling you, from a young man that I prayed for, na nilikuwa namtoa kwa Satanism. Na ndo akaniambia pasi nilikuwa nimefungua the 3rd chakra. Nilikuwa almost kuingia kwa the 3rd eye of the devil. Nilikuwa nimefundishwa kuset ma altars kwa hauna kusummon demons. But huku nje zina happen online, zina happen YouTube maidha. Na watu wanafanya hivyo, na watu civilized. Unaambia, you know, I'm just trying to find my peace. Alafu nasikia statement ni very common. You know, hii sasa ndo inaanza kusound. Waindi ndo wanakuanga na Mungu wao. Muindi atasema Kengori ni Mungu na kuworship na ukimboa kufae. That's why Indian is not a religion. Buddhism ni kitu tofauti. But that's why Indians wakuta demu ya COVID.
Hindu.
Yes, unakumbuka hiyo time walitupamba miungu zao. So these are very sensitive statement because she's vast knowledgeable but a lot of mixing. So utakuta Luciferianism hapa, Satanism hapa, Freemasonry hapa, but in that quest of hunger, sometimes they say when you're too hungry for something, even bitter food tastes sweet. So unaweza mu acknowledge akwe sensitive, anaweza kuta ameingia realms that are so deep, getting out might be a problem in pursuit of truth.
So how do you know you are not haujaingia kwa shetani? How?
I understand what you're talking about, and I'm actually getting everything that you're saying, but let me tell you, they call it witchcraft. You know, this is my understanding of it. Everything is witchcraft, even our own existence. Let me explain it. I know that sounds a little bit, you know, ish, but let me explain it. We have words. How do we interact? We have relationships on this particular realm. And you have feelings. You have emotions. You have words. You have intentions. And everything that is created on this particular dimension, before everything comes into the physical reality, it exists in a spiritual realm. And what removes it from a spiritual realm into the physical realm? Intention. And what is witchcraft? Witchcraft is intention.
No,
and there can be positive intention and there can be negative intention. I understand what you're saying.
Witchcraft is manipulation of intention.
Yeah,
that's witchcraft.
But we come into this realm to learn how to manipulate energy. That is everything that we come to do. Every human being comes on. Let me say, ngoja nikwambie, hata nyinyi Christians, you pray.
Yes.
Praying is manipulation of energy. Yeah. Because you go tell God that, you know, I need this and this and this. What are you trying to do to the universe? You're sending frequencies to manipulate a particular energy so that it comes into this reality, right? That is the reason why you pray. You pray to be healed. What is the intention? Prayer is intention. Witchcraft is intention. But there are people who have negative intention. Right now, when you're seated there, when you look at me, and you're like, I wish I was like that girl. I'm so jealous. I wish I was like her. I wish all the gifts that they have is sent to me. You are sending negative intentions. And the universe doesn't know the difference between negative intention and the positive intention. That is why demonic entities have as much power as light entities.
So witchcraft, so prayers is positive witchcraft.
Yes, that is what it is.
I wouldn't call prayer positive witchcraft because one, we pray the will of God. Yes. That's why kuna vitu tunaweza ombea na zita happen. So we pray the will of God. Now, you know, now she's trying to present the universe as God. The universe is a creation. It's something that God created. And it's something that God created, one, to express his majesty and also express his glory. And she says something very powerful, which was, when you look at the universe, you're able to understand God. In the book of Romans, it says, in fact, the universe is the first Bible. If you want to know how God is, if you want to understand order, if you want to understand sequence, if you want to understand patterns, connections, you now begin to look at the universe. But the universe is not God. But the universe is an expression of something we cannot see. When you look at the complexity of the universe, you end up acknowledging there is a creator. So we can't worship what was created because it's supposed to point us to the one that created it. And so now the moment we shift our focus from the creator to the creation, now that's idolatry. Because now we are trying to shape out things from what is created, and we are shifting our focus from what the creator did. Now witchcraft is when we use forces, what she's calling energies, to manipulate someone to do something against their will and against their consent. It is manipulation. So we can't have positive witchcraft. Now we are entering into what we are calling good devil and bad devil. Listen, it is either evil or godly. Because the moment we say this is good witchcraft and this is bad witchcraft, the name witchcraft cannot be accompanied with good. The name witchcraft is actually bad. But so you can't have good, ni kama kusema we have good devils and bad devils. Devil is evil. So you can't have good evil and bad evil. And that's where now the concept of new age in a come. So we are trying to take God out of the space, but we are trying to have this conversation so that and this conversation, by the way, itakuja kutulead kwa kitu inaitwa universalism. universalism itakuwa, by the way, the realm of the spirit is open if you want to access it, whether as a Christian, Muslim, nini, and this now ndio conversation anza kutulid kwa kitu tunaitewa new religion, new world order, one kind of religion. Because now when conversation like this begin, a lot is borrowed from the Bible, a lot is borrowed from the other part, and then it's manipulated to give a certain conversation. So when I listen to her, kuna mtu anasema hey, hiyo ni ukweli, but kuna pale anapiga statement anasema hapo umetutoa nje.